Hi everybody, I'm Philidor, the chess player PeterLalic, keeping up the chess endgame course with another lecture. This is number 11, admittedly quite a small number considering that I was promising in the introduction 200, 300 or even 400, but I should be able to increase its number in the summer holidays, during which I shall have a lot more time. On the topic of this collection, I was hoping if you could do me a favour and increase its popularity by perhaps posting links to Facebook or Bebo or MySpace or such social networking sites, and also maybe telling your friends, because at the moment the reception is great and I'm extremely grateful for the positive comments I've received. Thank you. The only problem is viewership, which is quite low, and in order to achieve the objective, which is to reach out to the chess community and teach about endings, it would be great if I could get a wider demographic. So I would be extremely grateful if you could advertise these videos. Thanks a lot. We see now an endgame. This is Queen versus Rook. There are some misconceptions, such as some people saying that this is very easy, even just childishly easy, but in reality black, or we can take either side, but the defender, let's use black since in this example he is with the rook, can construct a number of fortresses, or at least defences. Admittedly, objectively, white is winning, but he must seek the correct method. In the second rank defense, white has to use a crucial theme. This is Zugzwang, very important theme in the endgame. Essentially, it's a German word meaning that the player in Zugzwang has the obligation to move, of course, since that's the rule of chess, and any move he does make loses, or at least deteriorates his position. And we can use that here because, as Philidor showed very convincingly in his analysis of this position, black doesn't have any good move if it were his move. Point is that he has a perfect setup, and if his king were to move to c8, then queen a6, I'll just play out on the board with black's play, then queen a6 would pin the rook to the king and win on the spot. So black's king cannot move, and I'll just show you that the rook cannot move either. And there are some tactical, concrete answers to his every single move which prove that black is lost here. So let's go through them. But just after I show you how to win with white, because don't forget that going back, in this position, what if it's white to play? Well, you need to reach the winning position with black to move via a kind of triangulation technique, and I'll show you this now. With queen e5 check, white forces black to go to the a file, since king c8 fails to queen e8 checkmate. And after king a8, by the way king a7 is essentially the same, then queen a1 check forces king b8. Obviously rook a7 immediately allows queen h8 checkmate. By the way, now that we've seen this first example, this kind of reverting to the other side of the board is crucial in queen versus rook endgames, because don't forget that's what makes the queen so fantastic as a piece, because it has a great range of scope, and we'll see this. It's a recurring tactical resource which refutes many of black's attempts. So after king b8, now you'll notice something. Queen a5, I recognise this position. Well, so you should, because it's the same as the starting position, except that now it is black to play, and this is crucial. So I've already stated that the king cannot move. Now we must look at the other alternatives. Rook a7 loses to queen d8 checkmate. So because these squares are already controlled by white, only e7, f7, g7, h7, b3, b2 and b1 remain. I'm going to go through these systematically. If rook g7, I'll show you this first because it's the easiest, then queen e5 picks up the rook because of this fork against the two pieces. And likewise, I'll just eliminate that, and likewise after b2, queen e5 check shows the problem with the defender separating his rook from his king and then going on the same square. So with the on the same colour square. So with the rook on the dark square and the king on the dark square, forks become a lot easier when they're apart. Now we've covered those two. Now let's look at rook b1, arguably the most tenacious. Now we play queen d8 check, and after king a7, which is forced, we go for, let me see, queen d4 check. Now the point is that king a6 loses immediately to queen a4 check, mate, in fact, and king a8 now allows a certain move. By the way, king b8 is essentially the same. So after queen h8, here comes the recurring theme after rook b8, queen a1 checkmate, very nice, and otherwise king a7 is forced, and then queen h7 forks two pieces, winning the rook. Going all the way back, that is why rook b1 loses. And then, trying to mirror the image, let's look at rook h7. Now, queen e5 check, and again, king c8 loses to checkmate. King a8 and queen a1 check. Again, rook a7 check. Rook a7 loses to queen h7 checkmate. Queen h8 checkmate, and king b8 allows this long distance fork, picking up the rook. Turning to our important position, let us look at rook e7. Okay, that doesn't last very long. Queen d8 check, king a7, queen takes e7. Now that we've eliminated that, let us look at rook b3. We can force the win of the rook again. Queen e5 check. Now king c8 falls to queen e8 checkmate, and king a8 can be answered by, let me see, queen h8 check. Rook b8 doesn't work, so queen a1 check, queen a1 checkmate. King a7, queen d4 check, and if king a6, then that's checkmate, besides attacking the rook as well. And if king a8, then the same thing. White checks on the a file and picks up the rook at least. And if king b8, then I believe queen f4 check is a nice nuance here. King c8 loses to queen f8 checkmate, and if the king goes to the a file, then you can say goodbye to the rook. Let's play that out for you. Now let's look at the only remaining square after I've coloured in the others green. Rook f7. Now queen e5 check, king c8 and queen e8 check is checkmate, and if king a8, then queen e8 check, picking up the rook, so only king a7 makes sense, but then queen e3 check is quite beautiful, because king a6 helps checkmate, and king to the 8th rank loses to this forkkin. Okay, so let's return to its initial position. Thanks so much, I'll end it there. So just remember that you need to lose the move, essentially, with queen e5 check, now, king a6, queen a1 check, and after king b8, queen a5. We see that the white queen can refute all of these possibilities with a black rook. Thank you very much. This is PeterLalic signing off, saying good luck with your chess, and I hope that made sense. Thanks.